Oh boy. It's ever since I'm in 7 minutes in there. Ever since ne have in there. Simply makes no sense. Maybe, maybe let's give it the benefit of a doubt. I didn't read mail or every little bit of interview and stuff, so of course there could be a hidden backstory. I always like to refer to Dark Souls with a really great and hidden cinema and storytelling, like because a lot of the storytelling is not presented to you in the world. A lot of the storytelling is actually in the inventory system, because the items that you pick up have a little bit of descriptive text that tells you a little bit about the story, and if you pay uh, attention to that and to the overworld, you can make connections how everything interacted with each other. So that's a really cute way of storytelling. So I really freaking hope that this is something that would be explained if you were to read in the stuff in the game about it, because right now, as someone who doesn't really read in games because I have to do reading enough for job, you know, um, it's it's a little bit unexpected. But then there's this old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, eh? Don't let them, or is it pastry? No, butchering animals and stuff. We have found out that if you kill an animal and it knows it is getting killed, the meat will taste bad, because the animal will be stressed out and release sometimes even toxin into its own flesh in order to kill the predator that will eat its flesh, because it's the last act of defiance. So we have learned that if you want to kill an animal, never show the knife to it. So it's kind of similar here, I guess, where he only got to this position in absolutely being a a friendly object. But the main thing that is irritating and that we shouldn't forget about is, one, please drink more water. And number two, Deadman grew even more suspicious of Die Hard. I don't remember the reasons why, but but it always was this feeling of he is the higher up and I'm doing work that I shouldn't do. I'm uncovering infos I shouldn't uncover, because the higher ups have hidden this info from the world, because it's a secret for a reason, right? And it's something nobody else should know. So that made sense. And that's why I hope that this is hinted at hidden documents that I just haven't read. Yeah.
And now I'm using it to make things right. You were supposed to make the world whole.
She suddenly has
fuck it all
glasses,
up.
and her dress changed.
Okay then,
She is a shifter, eh?
get on with it. There is no atonement. Not for us.
Bro, I'm getting dizzy here. Bro, it's
No. It can't be.
at this point I need to mention I wanted to do like maybe a 4 to 6 hour stream today. We are at the 8th hour, 8:13, 09, 10, 11, and so on. Man, I'm gonna start slurring my words and probably be starting to use a lot of slang. Please, please, have. I don't know the word. It's not coming to mind. It's. Don't be too hard on me. Something along those lines. Give me a little bit of leeway.
You. Is that really you?
Jojo and his bizarre adventure. Let's fucking go.
Yes. It's me. John.
When I saw the captain, I thought it for a moment, but it didn't make sense, so I dismissed it. But it will be interesting to see how they go with this, because dude whose name I'm constantly forgetting, has supposedly lived 1,000 years ago, or hundreds of years ago. Let's go with hundreds. It sounds nicer.
Remember. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Characters like these, what I most want from them is to just talk to somebody. Not necessarily to be understanding, but to actually know what their motivations are. Like, all we know about him is that he's a soldier, special forces. And in the dream segment that we had, he was the supposed father of BB-28. So, yeah. I thought up until this moment that he would be a tool to just show how, these cataclysmic events or anomalies could happen, because we had the explanation that his beach got formed through yes, what I mean, my brain is giving up. That his beach got formed through a lot of trauma, not only through his, but a mass death event. and the death and despair and hopelessness was forming a purgatory, is what the game said, but I want to say basically a living hell. And I wanted him to be just basically a chaotic explanation for those supercells. But now he is showing up here in the quotation mark real world, because I'm starting to think everything is fake. This is... Bro, why is Emilia morphing? Why did the bullet just pass through her? Like, it's... all of everything starts to make less and less sense. And the problem with that is that who really likes falling? Because falling is what comes in mind when I think about helplessness in terms of not being able to grab a rule, or in this case it's the so-called red line. You cannot follow the story anymore because it became too confusing. Because a story explains stuff to you, why something is, and it is okay for a game to rewrite its rules. But the player needs to follow that. Like, for example, combat changed. First I had bolas, then I had guns. No, first I had fists, then I had bolas, then I had guns. Then the game told me, maybe killing people isn't a good idea because, voidouts are a thing. And then I was like, man, I was so short before I was about to kill that mule camp. Good thing that the game told me this. And then I went and instantly got a non-lethal variety of my assault rifle. And I was like, wouldn't it be great if the game just would just keep me making the hard decision of like carrying an assault rifle around, but I would only use that assault rifle to kill BTs. But then what will happen if I run out of bola cords? But would I then at some point resort to killing? Because I would be low on health, wouldn't be able to box people, and then lethal is the only option left, unless I die, and then we would have a void event anyways. That sort of dilemma would be a rewriting of the rules. But they gave me the non-lethal one, and so I always had the option of just not killing. And yeah, especially since the game made me a peaceful combatant from start to that assault rifle point. And the game now is just starting to break one rule after the next one. The world as we know it didn't exist anymore the moment Emilia didn't get hurt by the bullet Die Hard shot. Because suddenly we don't know if we are still on the beach. Is she even with us? Why did she transform her clothes, her face and glasses? Well, like, what is even happening? But while doing this, if I don't get a rope soon tossed to me by the game to make sense of all of it. This will be just too much milk in the coffee. No, too much milk in the coffee makes too much sense for a world that broke all of its rules. It doesn't really broke it. It's something affiliated to Breaking, but rules work but don't. They are on hold, basically. It's what's this schizophrenia meme where right, the movie was relaxed, and the guy thinks the entire time he's talking to his friend, and the friend is super accepting of him. But then you get these two perspectives of what he sees and what is reality, and the friend just is a schizophrenia phenomenon, and just isn't there. It's just his brain playing tricks on him. This is basically what is happening here. Everything is not as it seems. And it doesn't make sense. And there's just confusing stockpiling up.